Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Oh my God, girl, pick up the phone. Or actually don't, just read this text because I physically cannot speak right now. My throat is on fire. My eyes are swollen shut. I look like I've gone 12 rounds with a heavyweight boxer who dips his gloves in acid. You need to sit down for this because I have done something so incredibly stupid, so monumentally unhinged, that I think I might have to move out. I'm not even joking. I might have to burn the building down just to purify it, which is ironic because I'm pretty sure I already set my lungs on fire. So let me set the scene for you, okay? It's 3:00 a.m. You know me, I'm a creature of the night. I don't do mornings, I do the witching hour. While normal people are in REM sleep dreaming about sheep or whatever, I am wide awake and suddenly possessed by the spirit of a Michelin star chef. I was starving. Not just I could eat hungry, but I need a gourmet meal immediately hungry. I decided to whip up some lunch, or I guess, technically, a very early breakfast. Whatever. I was making roast potatoes with those cute little pickled vegetables I bought at the market, and the main event, fried courgette. I know, Americans call it zucchini, but let's be fancy for a second, okay? I felt fancy. I had the pan going, the oil was sizzling, the vibes were immaculate. I tossed the courgette slices in there, watching them get all golden and crispy. It smelled good. It looked good. But as I'm standing there, spatula in hand, staring into the pan, I had a thought. A dangerous, intrusive thought. I thought, this looks a little bland. I didn't want light and tasty. I wanted violence. I wanted flavor that would punch me in the mouth. I needed a kick. And then I remembered. The gift. Remember that fancy hot sauce that my sister got me for Christmas? The one that came in the black box that looked like it contained illegal substances. I haven't really touched it much because, frankly, the labels were intimidating. But tonight I was feeling brave. I was feeling invincible. I went to the cupboard and pulled out the bottle. What happened next? Let's just say, I should have read the warning label. It was labeled SDINGIN Scorpion Chili Sauce. Now, looking back, the name alone should have been a red flag the size of a billboard. You don't name something stingin' scorpion if it's meant to be a gentle tickle. But I read the ingredients, extravagant chilies, mango, exotic spices, and I thought, oh, this is going to be delicious. A sweet and spicy glaze. Here is where the tragedy begins. Here is where my brain completely short-circuited. A normal person, a sane, functioning member of society would cook the vegetables, put them on a plate, and then add a dab of sauce. Right, that is the logical order of operations. But no, not me. I decided that I needed to infuse the flavor. I thought, hey, if I put the sauce directly into the scorching hot oil, it'll caramelize and coat the courgette perfectly. I am an idiot. I am a fool. I am a cautionary tale. I popped the cap off the bottle. I didn't measure it. I didn't do a little test drop. No, I went full send. I dumped a generous, heavy-handed splash of this scorpion sludge straight into the pan. Girl. You have to understand the science of what I did so you can fully appreciate the level of my suffering. The scorpion chili is not a joke. It is a biological weapon. It's one of the hottest peppers on the face of the earth. We are talking nearly 1.5 million Scoville units. For reference, a jalapeno is like maybe 5,000. This pepper was bred by people who hate humanity. It was designed to cause pain, and I just threw it into boiling oil. Do you know what happens when you put super hot chili sauce into super hot oil? You don't get a glaze. You get an aerosol. I essentially vaporized pure capsaicin instantly. It happened in slow motion and fast forward at the same time. A massive plume of smoke and steam erupted from the pan. It looked like a dragon had just exhaled in my kitchen. And because I was leaning over the stove like the culinary genius I thought I was, the cloud hit me directly in the face just as I took a deep breath. It wasn't a cough. It was a seizure of the lungs. I felt my throat close up. It felt like I had inhaled boiling lava. It felt like someone had taken a cheese grater to the inside of my windpipe and then poured lemon juice on it. My eyes didn't just water. They instantly started leaking like a broken faucet. My nose was burning so bad I thought I was going to have a nosebleed. Then I made mistake number 2. and trust me, it only gets worse from here. I was hacking, wheezing, spluttering. I sounded like a seal barking, but a seal that smokes 3 packs a day. I was doubled over, clutching the counter, trying to remember how to be a human being who breathes oxygen. But every time I tried to inhale, I just sucked in more of the spicy air. My first thought, through the panic and the tears streaming down my face, was save the food. I know, insane priorities. I grabbed the handle of the pan, which was still spewing this toxic death cloud, and yanked it off the burner. I scraped the food onto a plate because I'll be damned if I cooked for nothing. I thought, I need to stop the smoke. So I threw the pan into the sink and turned on the tap. Hiss. A fresh cloud of steam rose up. Now, instead of just spicy smoke, I had created a humid, sticky, spicy fog. I had effectively manufactured homemade tear gas. I'm not being dramatic. I have accidentally recreated a riot control situation in my 1-bedroom apartment. I was dying. I scrambled to the window and threw it open. I turned the extractor fan to the jet engine setting, but the air was thick. It was heavy. It was a physical entity that wanted to hurt me. I grabbed my plate of food. Yes, I still took the food, and I ran. I fled the kitchen like it was a crime scene. I sprinted into my bedroom and slammed the door shut behind me, gasping for air. My bedroom was safe. The air was sweet and cool and chill-free. I sat on the edge of my bed, chest heaving, wiping snot and tears off my face with my sleeve. I looked like a wreck. I waited for my heart rate to drop below 200 beats per minute. I sat there for maybe 5 minutes. I even took a bite of the courgette. It was terrifyingly spicy, by the way, like inedible, so the whole thing was for nothing. But then, I felt a tickle, just a little scratch at the back of my throat. Then my left eye started to sting again. Then my nose started running. I looked at the door. I realized with dawning horror that door frames aren't airtight. The gas. The gas was coming for me. It was seeping under the door, through the cracks, an invisible assassin creeping into my sanctuary. The coughing started again. Violent, chest-racking coughs. The burn in my sinuses intensified. It was like the air in the room had turned into acid. I knew I couldn't stay in there. I was trapped in a box that was slowly filling with poison. I grabbed my shirt and pulled it up over my nose and mouth, creating a makeshift gas mask, and I opened the bedroom door to face the music. Bad idea. The nightmare was just beginning. When I opened that door, I saw the truth. The kitchen wasn't just smoky, the entire apartment was hazy. The cloud had spread. It had colonized the living room. It was drifting down the hallway. It was a lingering cloud of pure pain. There was nowhere to go. I had nowhere to run. I had gassed myself out of my own home at 3:30 in the morning. I had to run around opening every window in the place, holding my breath like I was swimming underwater, tears blinding me the whole time. I looked like I was having a mental breakdown. If my neighbors saw me through the windows, running back and forth, crying, holding a t-shirt to my face, they probably called the police. So now, here I am. I'm currently sitting on the floor by the open window in the living room, freezing cold because it's the middle of the night, breathing through a wet washcloth I found in the bathroom. I feel like I'm in a low-budget apocalypse movie where the air has turned toxic and I'm the last survivor. Every time I move the cloth to take a sip of water, I start coughing again. The air still tastes like mango and hate. My furniture probably smells like chili. My clothes definitely smell like chili. I'm pretty sure my pores are oozing capsaicin. I just wanted a tasty lunch, girl. I just wanted some zesty zucchini. Instead, I have committed a war crime against myself. Please, I am begging you, learn from my suffering. If you ever get the urge to be a chef and use fancy hot sauce, put it on after the food is cooked. Do not throw scorpion venom into hot oil unless you are trying to evacuate your building. I'm going to go sit in the shower and cry until the air clears. If you don't hear from me in 2 hours, send a hazmat team. Love you, bye.